Good morning, everybody. This is Jason Butt with the UGAsports.com quick take. And hey, today we're going to talk about the receivers as we go through the depth chart at Georgia. Obviously, if we're going to talk about receivers, which was planned, and then obviously yesterday morning, there was some really disturbing news, out of coming out of Athens, Georgia. You have to address this head on. A receiver, Ra Thomas, incoming transfer from Mississippi State. He's already here, actually. Charged with false imprisonment and which is a felony and a misdemeanor family violence first offense. So there's a lot to sort out. Georgia released a statement saying they couldn't comment on specifics, but they are clearly displeased at this police report. If this isn't immediately resolved or cleared and this goes down that legal path, I don't expect Ra Thomas to play at Georgia. We'll just be quite frank. I think J.J. Holloman is kind of the precedent for such a situation. That's an SEC thing. Anthony Dasher went into those details in his story today or yesterday on UGAsports.com. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this, but that's a very unfortunate situation. You really hate to see it, but in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. So while he was arrested and facing these charges, we'll need to let the legal process play out. But at the same time, I do think just given where things stand, it's going to be tough unless everything gets thrown out almost immediately, quickly, and expeditiously. Then I don't know if he's going to play, in a Georgia uniform. So moving forward, A.D. Mitchell last week announced that he was transferring too. So you would think, especially more so with Mitchell, Thomas, assuming he's not able to go, that was more of a luxury to add depth, to add a player at the position. But losing A.D. Mitchell, here's a guy who was supposed to be the number 1A, 1B, however you wanted to look at it, to Ladd McConkey this past year, gets hurt, comes back for the playoff, catches a touchdown in both games, including the game winner against Ohio State. It's surprising on one hand. You just don't see somebody who is looked upon as a 1A, 1B, a starting receiver. He was hurt all year, so you would think he would come back. Something happened clearly. You would just reading between the lines, something probably wasn't lining up from maybe coaches to player, and that's why he's gone. Because you're talking about 2 national titles, being involved in the game plan, likely having a huge role next year, and he decides to transfer. So there was some sort of disconnect somewhere. But hey, when somebody leaves, that opens up more opportunities elsewhere. And quite frankly, Georgia, despite losing Mitchell, they still get Ladd McConkey coming back. I think that's huge for so many reasons. His speed, game breaking. He takes the top off the defense. But more importantly, the thing about Ladd McConkey is he can run those deep routes, as we've seen, but he's really polished as a route runner. So he can go inside. He has a route tree. You watch him, and it may not be the most perfect thing in the world, but and that's something that obviously he can continue to develop. But you really like the versatility that he brings to the position. He runs the tunnel screens. He, like I said, he can go deep. He can run intermediate. He goes over the middle. He can break off routes. He cuts really well. Very, very agile. Very well-rounded as a receiver. And so I look at him. I wasn't sure he was an NFL guy coming into this past season. I 100% think he's an NFL guy. And one reason it seems like he's coming back is to improve that draft stock. Why go be a mid-round draft pick as a speed guy when you can further develop into an NFL receiver with your routes, but with another year at Georgia. So I think another season is going to tremendously benefit him. Okay, so you put that on the table, Ladd McConkey, the speed that he possesses. Then you look at these other 3 guys that are going to be involved in this rotation, at least more than likely, at least we think, going into the 2023 season. Arian Smith, CJ Smith, and Anthony Evans a third. Now, these guys have all run 10.2 seconds or less in the 100-meter dash. That is phenomenal. Back in the day, I used to cover the Lyles brothers. Any of you that follow track and field up in the D.C. area, Noah Lyles, Josephus Lyles, these guys were tremendous sprinters. They are tremendous sprinters. I mean, Noah was an Olympian, in the Tokyo Games. Josephus was hurt and not able to qualify for the team for that Olympics. But Noah, absolute burner. And so, at that level, I've seen that kind of speed up close in person on a track, and these guys possess that. These guys are world-class runners. And so you're talking about this kind of speed, combine that with the polish that McConkey continues to further himself with. And dare I say, this is more reminiscent of and if they can get these guys going, CJ Smith obviously injured this past year. Anthony Evans will be coming in. Arian Smith, the hero, or one of the heroes of the Peach Bowl, because even if the defender doesn't fall down, he's got him beat down the field. Maybe not for a touchdown. The ball slightly underthrown, so maybe the defender catches up. Had him beat. Still likely a touchdown in that situation. So you talk about that kind of speed. I think and then of course Brock Bowers, just throw him into the mix. Basically a receiver, even though he does all the dirty work that you want a tight end to do and does it at an elite level. You take this group, and I don't even mention Dylan Bell, who's your bigger bodied guy, not a speedster, but he's still your bigger bodied receiver who can create mismatches. So you take this group, and I dare I say, I think this group can be better than last year's group, and I think a lot of it has to do with the speed. I think also, especially if it's Carson Beck, we've seen Carson Beck's arm. Yes, not against the elite defenses. He's going in garbage time, but one, his understanding of the defense. Two, the comfort level going into what is this, year 4 with Todd Monken. I truly believe that if Carson Beck wins the job, that he is going to have a field day with this receiving core. And you talk about fast guys everywhere. That's really what this is. And then, of course, I mentioned Brock Bowers. He's crazy fast too at his position. We've seen him outrun DBs on the field. So I tell you what, man. For those who think that Georgia's kind of dropping off here, I didn't even mention Dominic Lovett, the other transfer that Georgia has coming in. If people think Georgia's dropping off in the pass game without Stetson Bennett, it won't be because of the receiving crew. I'll tell you that right now. These receivers, they speed-wise, they remind me of Alabama in 2020 and 2021, where at any moment those guys could take the top off and they could just separate so quickly, and those big plays happen in bunches. It's what Alabama missed this past year. It's why their offense wasn't as successful as it has been, at times during, really from what, the crazy run from 19 to 21, where it seemed like it was just big play after big play after big play in the passing game. Bryce Young had to work a lot harder for that this year. Georgia, speed-wise, it seems to be that they very well could possess that at the position this coming year. So big things ahead. With this group, I think it's a deep group. Obviously, got to try to avoid the injury bug as much as possible. Arian Smith being one who unfortunately has been banged up, throughout his career. If they can get him going into 2023 healthy, good to go, like how he finished this past year, I really think that this group can kind of pick up where it left off and really make Carson Beck's life, or Brock Vandegrift's life for that matter, or Gunnar Stockton. Let's not forget about him either. Make their lives a lot easier for whoever ends up being the starting quarterback. And with that, I will close out this day's episode of The Quick Take. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, do all that good stuff with this video. Share it with your friends. Go to the UGAsports.com dog vent. Subscribe there as well. The best community for UGA sports fans on the World Wide Web. Just want to thank you again. You have been awesome. I've been Jason Butt. Y'all take care.